So the Ravens have signed a 3-year, $39 million extension with Mark Andrews, their 30-year-old former All-Pro tight end, who's still producing at a pretty high level, and no doubt is a very big part of this offense. I'm certain Lamar Jackson wanted him back, and it'll be interesting how the numbers here for them kind of shape going forward in terms of their approach to paying players on offense and the rest of the league, really. Andrews is still a really good player. He still produces pretty well. He's a solid tight end. He blocks well enough, gets you about 600, 800 yards a year, kind of like what Zach Ertz is doing in Washington. Just a solid all-around wide tight end who knows what he's doing and will give you a consistent performance week to week as long as he's healthy. There are a lot of 30-plus-year-old tight ends that have continued to produce in this league. It's like the offensive line. Just because you're 30 doesn't mean your career's over. He could end up playing another half-decade in the Baltimore Ravens colors. What I think is going to be interesting is former fourth-round pick Isaiah Likely is now going to be a free agent this offseason. He's on a 4-year rookie deal right now, no fifth-year option for non-first-round picks. Has been a giant part of this offense as well, has produced almost as much as a passer, but he's more of an H-back, not as much of a blocker as Mark Andrews is, but has really been a good yak weapon and kind of in-space blocker on the perimeter for this Ravens rushing attack. And in a strange kind of 12 personnel base offense that's built around Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson's ability to run the ball, it could be that they end up with their cap space paying 2 tight ends. Baltimore has $47 million in cap space, although they're paying 13 to Andrews. I think Likely might fetch similar amount of money on the market. A lot of teams are looking for tight ends, especially with kind of the unique pass-catching ability that Likely has. He does a lot of the things that made Kelsey great in Kansas City. But the question is, will Baltimore do what the Patriots did years back with Bill Belichick still when they paid Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry about $26 million combined? Back then, I don't think it was as good of an idea. There was a lot more 11 personnel going on. The Chiefs were starting to air the ball out. We saw a lot of offenses moving towards the passing game. I think we're starting to see the league tighten up a little bit more. What you're seeing more of is bringing in tight ends to pass protect and allowing quarterbacks to kind of straight drop back out of under center looks as well as run play action to create better passing looks for the offense. So yes, 12 personnel is becoming more of a base, and maybe it isn't that wild of an idea for the Ravens to pay 2 tight ends. Although his price will be higher than I think people know because other teams are now looking for multiple tight ends to help with that. What's also going to be interesting here is Iowa State's Charlie Collar was drafted in the same draft as Likely, and actually before him in the 4th round, the Ravens took 2 tight ends in the 4th round, and he's been a solid piece, although he is more of a wide tight end inline guy who blocks more than he is a pass catcher. And so if they view Andrews as a guy who's going to block less as his career goes on, maybe they pay a little bit less just to keep Collar, use him as the blocker and more looks offensively, and then have Andrews be your passing option. The flexibility of the Ravens offense allows them to be flexible with how they're going to use their cap this offseason.